So this is the additive manufacturing process chain, or what are the steps that are involved if you want to produce a component by additive manufacturing. The first one is the conceptualization, which means a person will think that I want a particular shape of the component. That is the meaning of conceptual. Somebody will have a concept of a particular product that has to be created. It may be the designer, himself, or it may be a customer. It may be anybody. So anybody can have an idea. Next step is the CAD. So whatever idea is there, you have to give some dimensions to it. You have to give some tolerances to it. You have to decide what will be the material for it. So computer-aided design you can consider, or you can say computer-aided drawing, whatever it may be. So you have to create the CAD model of it, of that particular idea. Then the next step is you have to convert it into STL. STL is a standard tessellation language, which means you are breaking the CAD model into triangles. You are representing the entire model in terms of triangles. Then that STL file will be used in the subsequent steps for all the other activities. So nowadays there is another standard, industry standard, that is AMF. The file name will be .amf, that is additive manufacturing file. So STL file will not have information regarding the material, but AMF file will have information regarding the material also. That is the new standard for additive manufacturing. So next one is the transfer to additive manufacturing. So once you are having the STL file, that is only about the designing part. Then you have to do a lot of extra activities, like you are dividing the component into layers. You have to decide how you are going to print, what is the position in which you are printing, what will be the material, what is the parameters at which you are doing the manufacturing. All these things have to be decided. So that is what we say as the transfer to additive manufacturing. The first one will be the STL file manipulation. So once you are transferring it to the additive manufacturing software, there you have to see whether any errors are there in the STL file. While transferring from one software to another software, there will be some compatibility issues may be there. Some of the triangles will not be properly read. So some issues will be there. Some surfaces may not be very proper. You may have to make some kind of repair to the STL file to make it acceptable for usage in the next step. Next one is you have to divide the component into layers. You have to specify what will be the layer thickness. You have to decide how exactly you want to orient the component. So all these activities you have to perform in the software and decide how exactly you are going to make the component. Next one is the support generation. Now you have to say whether you want support in any area, what is the shape of the support you want, what are the density of the supports you want to create, whether you want to create solid supports, whether you want to create hollow supports. So all these things you have to give as input parameters to the AM. There only you will get it. Next one is the build file preparation. Once you have given all the input parameters required regarding the speed at which you want to print, regarding the material, regarding the temperature, what you want to achieve, all the parameters are given. Then you have to create the program which can be loaded into the additive manufacturing machine, wherein you can print the or create the component. So that is the next step, the build file preparation. The next step is once you have the build file, then you have to go to the machine. You have to load the correct material into it. Then you have to set various parameters, whatever is required. You have to make sure that the plate is properly leveled, it is very clean. Then you have to load the program and you have to start the actual build. Build is nothing but the manufacturing. Once you have set up the machine, the next activity is preparation. So you load the program into the memory of the machine and you just have to start the program. Then it will start printing the component. Next one is the build removal. Once the component is manufactured, some time is required. You have to wait for that particular time. Once the component is manufactured, you have to take the component out of the machine. That is the build removal. So here build means manufacturing, that you have to remember. Next one is the post-processing. Most of the components that are manufactured by additive manufacturing, some photos we will see in the coming topics, coming slides, they require some additional activity. It is not possible to directly take out the component and directly use it. Some kind of additional activities are required. So that is, you have to make all those activities before you can use it. All those activities are called as post-processing. So these are some of the steps that are involved in the additive manufacturing. So the question may be, explain the different steps involved in additive manufacturing. That will be the question. You have to explain all these steps and explain the function of each and every step, what you are getting in a particular step, and what is the output of that particular step. That is what you have to explain. So first will be conceptualization, that is imagination. CAD means you are deciding the material, you are deciding the shape, size, geometry. Next one is the STL. So additive manufacturing softwares where you are going to create the program. They want the input in the form of STL file. That is what you are trying to create it, conversion to STL. Next one is you are taking the STL file and you are loading it into the additive manufacturing software or transfer to AM, additive manufacturing. First one is the manipulation. You are correcting errors. You are orienting the component in the proper position what you want. You are placing more than one component if you want to create several components in a one step. Next one is support generation. You are analyzing the component and see where you want supports. Next is the build file preparation. That is the program you are taking it out. Then you are going to the machine. You are loading the material. You are ensuring the power supply is there. Machine is clean and the proper setup is made. Then you are loading the program into the machine, ensuring that all the parameters are correct. Then you are starting the manufacturing. Then you are waiting. The part can be used for the application for which it is designed. So these are the points you have to explain in detail. That will be the steps involved in additive manufacturing. That is another important question which will be repeatedly asked. Next one is the classification of additive manufacturing processes. There are different methods of classifying the additive manufacturing process. Whatever is given here, this is only one of it. There are classifications based on the kind of phase transformation take place, based on the material, type of material you are using, and the power source you are using. There are different types of classifications are there. This is one of the simplest types of classification based on the initial raw material condition. How exactly the initial raw material is there, based on that the classification is given. The first classification is liquid polymer systems. So in this case, initial raw material which you are using for additive manufacturing will be in the form of a liquid, that is a polymer. Usually the polymer will be a photopolymer, which means in the presence of the light, the polymerization will be completed or the polymer will get hardened so that it becomes a solid. From liquid to solid, it will happen in the presence of light. Usually it will be a UV light. It will be supplied through a laser. The example of the process is SLA, that is stereolithography. Stereolithography. There is another advanced version of this, that is the digital light processing, wherein you are entirely building the one layer at a time. The digital light processing. That is another example of liquid polymer systems. The next method is the next type of classification is the discrete particle system. In this method, we are using the powder. Whatever the material is there, it will be in the form of a very fine powder, maybe 100 microns or 150 microns. Whatever the size of the powder is there, it will be less than the layer thickness. For example, you want a very, very accurate component in a given process. You are going for the very less layer thickness. Then if your layer thickness is say 0.1 millimeter, then the particle size should be smaller than the layer thickness. So it should be less than 0.1 millimeter. That is, it should be less than 100 microns. So it may be 60 microns, it may be 50 microns, or it may be 30 microns. So in discrete particle system, the raw material used is in the form of a powder, and these powder particles are joined together by some means to make the solid component. So the different methods are SLS, which means selective laser sintering. Another one is binder jetting. The third one is the DMLS, direct metal laser sintering process. So these are the examples of discrete particle system. The next, in the molten material system, you are getting the raw material in the form of a solid. You are applying heat in the machine. You are converting the solid into a liquid form in the machine. Liquid stream, that is the molten material system. So whatever material you are getting, you are converting into the form of a liquid and you are depositing on the workpiece to create the component. Again, the machine we are having in our creativity center, your material is in the form of a filament, which is a solid. You are applying heat, that is the resistance heat. You are melting it, and then you are depositing on the workpiece to create the component. That is fused deposition modeling. The last method of category is the solid sheet systems. In this case, you are having raw material in the form of a sheet, maybe paper or maybe plastic or maybe some ceramic or polymer. You are having the sheets. These sheets, you are joining one layer after another layer. You are cutting the sheets, whichever you don't want, by using a laser, and you are trying to build the component. This one will be more or less like your sticker pasting. On your vehicles, you are putting the sticker, you are cutting off wherever is not required, leaving only the number or the image you want. The same principle applies for the solid sheet systems. The example of this process is LOM, that is laminated object manufacturing. So as the question again maybe explain the classification of additive manufacturing processes. Then you have to explain what are these, or how exactly the classification is made, what are the examples of each of these categories. So this is the explanation you have to give.